out of the airplane. No. Doors closed, gas message 24/5 and greater. ITT, engine is cold. Fuel on board, we have 180 gallons, and so we have fuel selector. We got timer on. Isolate boost on. Start timer. I'm gonna start in 5 seconds. Yeah. 1,000 to 1,000. Looking for 13 or greater NG. 13 fuel. Times. Now this is where 30 and 30 at 30 NG within 30 seconds. So really 35 seconds because I started 5 seconds in. And we're gonna be there, no problem. Okay. Next one is at 42. This second chamber is gonna ignite. So it looks like we're peaked at 6:32, something like that.
And ITT as long as it's in the green?
Yep. So at 42, additional fuel is introduced. Now it's ramping up. So now second peak at 674, so it's a very cold start. Well, I wouldn't call it cold, but good start.
Hitting gear.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that. So we're good on that. Start with AC first. At least today. AP on fuel. Cycle it did. Accelerator boost on auto. Strokes on. And inertial separator is coming on. So as said, at this point.
Well, hello and welcome. In a previous video on this channel, many of you joined me as I sat in the back seat of a TBM 900 watching a friend of mine build his SOE hours towards his checkout. For those of you unfamiliar with the term SOE, it stands for Supervised Operating Experience. It represents the FAA and insurance minimum time flying with a mentor pilot who is an expert in that make and model of airplane. The goal, of course, is to ensure that the pilot is proficient in the airplane. After all, some of these new airplanes to people represents a huge step up for a pilot and what they've normally been flying. So in this case, my buddy sold his SR22 Turbo and purchased the TBM 900. By the way, an interesting side note that I picked up during all of this is that all of the TBMs are listed as a TBM 700 in the FAA registry. When you hear about a TBM 850, a 900, so on and so forth, it's really referencing a model version under the TBM 700 certification. So think of it like the nomenclature for the SR22. They're all SR22s, but there's a Gen 1, a Gen 2, and etc. So these are all TBM 700s, but the generation number changes over the years. Well, let me start by stating the obvious. The 900 is an awesome airplane. It's extremely comfortable cabin, as is the cockpit. But really, it's a performance machine with a true top airspeed of 330 knots with over 1,700 miles of range. Useful load is 2,400 pounds and has a max takeoff weight of almost 7,400 pounds. The 850 horsepower PT6 will take it to 31,000 feet in short order. I also found the cabin extremely quiet, although my friend says everyone needs a headset. I took the headset off and I thought it was fine, but maybe he has additional information than I have in terms of after so much time it probably gets annoying. But as I alluded to, the real game changer for me is the speed. In my SR22, a trip from Chicago Executive Airport to Johnson County Executive in Kansas City takes about 2.5 hours, especially when traveling westbound into the wind. My plane is about 170 knots true. The TBM, you actually shave off an hour on that flight. I always joke that my wife opens the door and gets out of the airplane at 2.5 hours, whether we're on the ground or not. So think about it. That extra hour savings by the TBM offers me real value. Of course, any 300-knot airplane offers that same benefit. So consider my evaluation a little bit subjective, with my perspective driven by being in the moment and also being reflective of the huge smile on my face. My goal today is to create a video of less than 10 minutes that includes the start, takeoff, en route segment, approach, and descent to a landing. Well, you already saw the start, and let's all agree how wonderful the sound of a PT-6 startup is. As we approach Executive Airport in Chicago, I have the same feeling I had after riding in the Cirrus Vision Jet and M600 from Piper, and pretty much every other airplane that I fly, which of course always ends up the same. I want one. The good news is I love my SR-22 and love that all of you are along for the ride, especially since it seems that you also enjoy the experience of the channel. In the spirit of the great old saying that a picture is worth 1,000 words, I'm going to shut up for the next minute and a half and suggest we all just sit back, relax, and enjoy the final approach, landing, and taxiing back to the ramp for the shutdown. One last comment. I have 2 new videos coming. One is flying as a safety pilot in a friend's Cessna 310. The other video is one I've been promising for almost a year and a half. Stay tuned. Until then, thanks for being with me today, and I wish all of you blue skies and tailwinds.